This is a poem about Newark, where I come from. Old bad Newark. Everybody talk bad about Newark, you know. But this is better than you can talk about, actually. This is called In Town. Da 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 da. Something in the way of things, something that will quit and won't start, something you know but can't stand, can't know, but get along with. Like death riding on top of the car, peering through the windshield for his cue. Something entirely fictitious and true that creeps across your path, hallooing your evil ways like they were yourself, passing yourself, not smiling. The dead guy you saw me talking to is your boss. I tried to put a spell on him, but his spirit is illiterate. I know things you know and nothing you don't know, except I saw something in the way of things, something grinning at me. And I wanted to know, was it funny? Was it so funny it followed me down the street, greeting everybody like the good humor man? And they got to taste the good humor, but no ice cream. It was like that, me talking across people into the houses and not seeing the beings crowding around me with ice picks. You could see them, but they looked like important Negroes on the way to your funeral. They looked like important jigaboos on the way to your auction. They let them chant the numbers and use an ivory pointer to count your teeth. Remember Step and Fetch It? How we laughed? Knowing it was Sunday school images given flesh and jiggling with the ice pick high over his head. Made you laugh anyway. I can see something in the way of ourselves. That's why I say the things I do, you know it. But it's something else too, like that job this morning. When you got there, it was quiet, and the machines were yearning soft behind you, yearning for their nigger to come and give up his life. Standing there being dissed and broke and troubled. My mistake is I kept saying that was proof God didn't exist. And you told me, no, it was proof that the devil do. But still, it's like I see something, I hear things. I saw words in the white boy's lion rag said you was gonna die poor and frustrated. That them dreams walk with you across town is gonna die from overwork. That the garbage on the street is telling you you ain't shit and you almost believe it. Broke and mistaken all the time. You know some of the words, but they ain't the right ones. Your cable back on, but ain't nothing on it you can see. But I see something in the way of things, something make us stumble, something get us drunk from noise and addicted to sadness. I see something and feel something stalking us like an ugly thing floating at our back, calling us names. You see it and hear it too, but you say it got a right to exist just like you. And if God made it, but then we got to argue. And the light gonna come down around us, even though we remember where the bank is. We remember the Negro squinting at us through the cage. You seen what I see too. A smile that ain't a smile, but teeth flying against our necks. You see something too, but can't call its name. Ain't it too bad, y'all said? Ain't it too bad? Such a nice boy, always kind to his mother, always say good morning to everybody on his way to work. But that last time, before he got locked up and hurt real bad, I seen him walking toward his house, and he wasn't smiling, and he didn't even say hello, but I knew he'd seen something in the way of things. And it worked on him like it do and will, and he kept marching faster and faster away from us and never even muttered a word. Then the next day, he was gone. You want to know what I'm talking about? Saying I seen something in the way of things, and how the boy's face looked that day, just before they took him away. There isn't that face, and remember all them other faces, and all the many places you've seen him, or the sister with his child wandering up the street. Remember what you've seen in your own mirror, You didn't for a second recognize the face, your own face, straining to get out from behind the glass. Dun, 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 dun. Open your mouth like you was going to say something. Close your eyes and remember what you saw and what it made you feel like. Now don't you see something else, something cold and ugly, not invisible, but blended with the shadow crisscrossing the old man squatting by the drugstore at the corner with his head resting uneasily on his folded arms. And the boy that smiled and the girl he went with. And in my eyes too, a waving craziness splitting them into the jet stream of a black bird, his ass on fire. Or the solemn notness of where we go to know we're going to be happy. Dun, 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 dun. I seen something, and you seen it too. You just can't call its name.
Yeah.
Thank you. You know, when I was a little kid, my mother used to dress me up in a Boy Scout suit and say the Gettysburg dress. It'd be every Lincoln's birthday. I guess she did that so I could say, and all men are created equal. I guess that's why she did that. I was 12 years old when she did that. So, my grandmother used to bring a lot of books home. She used to do a white lady's hair. She would bring books back. I started reading the Rubaiyat of Omar Khayyam, Chinese and Japanese poetry. Then I stumbled on something called a haiku. And I said, I'm going to create something for black people. It's called a loku. That means we don't have time to count the syllables, you know. Dun, 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 dun. That's Bud Powell. Poko loku. Ba, 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 ba. Loku for so what? They asked him the difference between insane and outsane. He said, you know the difference, that's why you're asking. 2 days later they came back, he had left a note. It said the same thing. That's when his picture went up in the post office. The caption read, wanted for any reason you could think of. This meant they really did understand. Dun, 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 dun. Question with no air. Why are they so crazy? 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 Why? Dun, 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 dun. Silent night. Whenever the devil is disguised as God, he is called Santa Claus. Was it ever so quiet the room began to ask you questions? Dun, 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 dun. Adventures in Negrosity. A Negro tried to cash himself for money at a bank. He got arrested as a counterfeit nickel. Dun, 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 dun. Culture. European Jews say the devil speaks perfect German. Black Americans, on the other hand, say he speaks pretty good English, too. Motive. The devil said he left heaven because there was too many niggas. That's why he started Europe. Dun, 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 dun. Geobolical. According to the devil, when he was first thrown out of heaven, he landed in England. I believe it. Dun, dun, dun. Heaven appeared with property. God with slavery. Heaven appeared with property, God with slavery. Dun, 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 dun. Before fortune was money, finally everything points to the people and things we understand. Understanding is a point of view. If you look, what looks down from that point, if it is the sun, if you see it, better. If you don't, okay. But for instance, and there you go across the sea to be with the devil. The preparation for pain is minimal. For joy, a lifetime. The preparation for pain is minimal. For joy, a lifetime. Is that fair? We ask. Is that fair? You mean a fee? A circus? or white people. Dun, 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 dun. The Return of Lon Chaney. If you see a Negro with a white ring around his mouth, Goober dust will not help. Dun, 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 dun. Lowkus. Craziness is no act. Not to act is craziness. Dun, 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 dun. Lowkus for Bush too. The main thing wrong with you is you ain't in jail. Boom. Aktum. The American word for Nazi is American. Catch 27. Catch 27. The real problem is you don't know the real problem. Dun 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 dun. Class gas for those who knows. Since the rich eat more than anybody else, it is reasonable to assume that they are more full of shit. Lowkus linguistic for chute. In Mandarin, the word bush means dumb motherfucker. Dun, 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 dun. In the funk world, if Elvis Presley is king, who is James Brown? God? Dun, 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 dun. I have 100 more, but I will not abuse you. This is a poem for two close friends of mine who were two great pianists, John Hicks and Hilton Ruiz, who died the same week. It's called Play That. Dun 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 dun. Play that. The inner tape, the collapse or rap, the strain, the hippest train. What name for the hours, the early or late towers, the quest, the undressed, all that mess? Play that. We ain't where we been or gone or thought we got to then when we were the old men, the dots, the feeler, ugly stealers, the wheelers, upon whom everything bent what was meant. What we spent to know or knew we didn't know, for whom this world was a newspaper, a grapefruit, a spinning tomb of where and when. For those of us who never missed trying to understand, for those among us who took a stand, who felt they could speak or sing for the land, man, for anybody who could say night or day, this is the way it was. For those we trust, for those who took a bus, who would open their mouths at the fiends and use profanity at the inanity, the insanity, would cuss for the whole of us. Whoever never doubted they were real and would take the fall, take the hit, appear surreal, vanish in the clannish discovery of our nut-like loyalties with minuscule royalties, heaped with insults and banality, who would dare to stare at the kings and uglier things and still open our mouths and tell jokes to rouse the sleepers, the next week stronger folks, to turn from merely looking or booking and force dumbness on the dumb, ugliness on the ugly, expose the liars, extract their teeth, lodge our beef, outline deceit, the clay on superpunk's feet. Those who could die before they cry have their necks stretched with 666 hung on their sandals, accusing them of scandals of which the murderers themselves were the handles, or them, we as they can, the babies, the armies and navies. For them was true, before or after enduring pain, criminals reserved for you. For them, the glorious and the grim, who laughed with us and wept the dry dust of the accused, the dishonestly abused, the secret heroes, the banished, the vanished, the tarnished, the unstoppable screamers, we as under your will, still as shrill. Wherever they try to take us out, some alley, anonymous circumstance, empty hill, we is the same. What call them whoever name, brought down by any game, or guilty lame, we is all the same. For those whose honest claim is life without Satan, or the craven, without misdirection, the evil escape detection, play that for us. For the people who would tell you what was really going down, who would give little ground. For those the beast would hound, yeah, play that. Yeah, play that. That heavy Vance, that switchblade funk, that Lydian pentatonic scale for red and black riders of the apocalypse, play that. Play that signifying blue memory joint, that history narrating, unequivocating, maroon Lewis growling Ducasonic hyperbole, play that. Yeah, play that and bring us from wherever we is and was or went. Bring us back. Let it be a band collected from across the world. Let it be so hip even Bad Bush could be smoked. Or Sharon would drown in the sticks trying to get out the way of what it say. Play that. And whatever everything be, just get your notes out free. And on the scale, that tail play it red, what history said. Wail it black, a rhythm attack. Bring it blue so most people remember it too. It gotta be hot, who like it or not. And boom-ba-doom blown, the syncopate tone. It gotta be out. It can't be stopped with that Afro-Latin raggedy tabla-moan that, yeah, that's the way it was and be. That Asiatic Arab cry, that modal, what it is, God, if you is. Double lightning speak I am. What did I do to answer anybody's question? Unasked question, like a plantation whisper transformed into Lenin's laughter. Harmonies like Mao's essays on philosophy and Du Bois' question, how does it feel to be Nicolas Guillen and Émile Césaire? And Langston could say, if Margaret told Zora how Lorraine explained music like Lorca made, or Dumas played, like the dudes Malcolm paid, all improvisation, like an endless symphonic conversation, when Langston got hooked up with Beethoven and Son House got the Book of the Seven Seals, and the Sun Ra Cosmo Dialectic Orchestra got down, and them strange marks on the page is what the whole world would play. The whole sensible world could play. The notes was notes. It was collective, improvised from the scores coming forth at the dawn of what I say, like a human hum where life come from, and we smoked it to the ground, made the world spirit sound, hey now, without that vowel, that Rooney tune, that universal ensemble sound from the sun to the ground, like the soul was over our head, and inside everybody where it don't be, we say, yeah, go ahead, play that. Yeah, play that. Thank you. Read this last poem. This is a poem that got me in a lot of trouble. After 9/11, I was listening to Bush and his bullshit, and I started thinking about, he's talking about terrorism. We could see 9/11 from our window. South Ward in Newark, and you could see the World Trade Center. And I read poems centered around the world, mostly positive, a couple of people were negative, I must admit. Then the governor, for some strange reason, had me appointed the poet laureate of New Jersey. I warned him. I said, you must know nothing about poetry. He told me, he said, I can handle it. But then a year later, he had to resign. I'm telling you, I've been to 3 courts and 1 Supreme Court. The Supreme Court wouldn't even hear my plea that I had a First Amendment right. And the New York Times called me while I was on the stage in Nicaragua. So I thought that was just, that I could tell them what they told me. Dum, 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 dum. Dun, 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 dun. All thinking people oppose terrorism, both domestic and international. But one should not be used to cover the other. Dun, 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 dun. Somebody blew up America. They say it's some terrorist, some barbaric Arab in Afghanistan. It wasn't our American terrorists. It wasn't the Klan or the skinheads or them that blows up nigger churches or reincarnates us on death row. It wasn't Trent Lott or David Duke or Giuliani or Schumer. Helms retired. No, Helms are dead. It wasn't the gonorrhea in costume, the white cheek diseases that have murdered black people, terrorized reason and sanity, most of humanity as they pleases. They say, who say? Who do the saying? Who is them paying? Who tell the lies? Who in disguise? Who had the slaves? Who got the bucks out the bucks? Who got fat from plantations? Who genocided Indians, tried to waste the black nation? Who lived on Wall Street, the first plantation? Who cut your nuts off? Who raped your mom? Who lynched your pop? Who got the tar? Who got the feathers? Who had the match? Who set the fires? Who killed and hired? Who say they God and still be the devil? Who the biggest only? Who the most goodest? Who do Jesus resemble? Who created everything? Who the smartest? Who the greatest? Who the richest? Who say you ugly and they the good look at us? Who defined art? Who defined science? Who made the bombs? Who made the guns? Who bought the slaves? Who sold them? Who call you them names? Who say Dahmer wasn't insane? Who stole Puerto Rico? Who stole the Indies, the Philippines, Manhattan, Australia, the Hebrides? Who forced opium on the Chinese? Who owned them buildings? Who got the money? Who think you funny? Who lock you up? Who owned the papers? Who owned the slave ship? Who ran the army? Who was the fake president? Who the ruler? Who the banker? Who? Who owned the mind? Who twists your mind? Who got bread? Who need peace? Who you think need war? Who owned the oil? Who do no toil? Who owned the soil? Who is not a nigger? Who is so great ain't nobody bigger? Who owned the city? Who owned the air? Who owned the water? Who owned your crib? Who rob and steal and cheat and murder, make lies the truth? Who call you uncouth? Who live in the biggest house? Who do the biggest crime? Who go on vacation anytime? Who kill the most niggas? Who kill the most Jews? Who kill the most Italians? Who kill the most Irish? Who kill the most Africans? Who kill the most Japanese? Who kill the most Latinos? Who own the ocean? Who own the airplanes? Who own the malls? Who own television? Who own radio? Who own what ain't even known to be owned? Who own the owners that ain't the real owners? Who own the suburbs? Who suck the seas? Who make the laws? Who made Bush president? Who believed the Confederate flag need to be flying? Who talk about democracy and be lying? Who the beast in Revelations? Who's 666? Who decide Jesus get crucified? Who the devil on the real side? Who got rich from Armenian genocide? Who the biggest terrorists? Who changed the Bible? Who killed the most people? Who do the most evil? Who don't worry about survival? Who have the colonies? Who stole the most land? Who ruled the world? Who say they good but only do evil? Who the biggest executioner? Who own the oil? Who want more oil? Who told you what you think that you later find out is a lie? Who found Bin Laden? Maybe they Satan. Who paid the CIA? Who knew the bomb was going to blow? Who know why the terrorists learned to fly in Florida and San Diego? Who know why 5 Israelis was filming the explosion and cracking their sides at the ocean? Who needs fossil fuel? The sun ain't going nowhere. Who make the credit cards? Who get the biggest tax cut? Who walked into the conference against racism? Who killed Malcolm, Kennedy, and his brother? Who killed Dr. King? Who had won such a thing? Are they linked to the murder of Lincoln? Who invaded Grenada? Who made money from apartheid? Who keep the Irish a colony? Who overthrew Chile and Nicaragua later? Who killed David Sebeco, Chris Hani, the same ones who killed Biko, Cabral, Neruda, Allende, Che Guevara, Sandino? Who killed Kabila? The ones who wasted the money lane. Betty Shabazz, Princess Di, Ralph Featherstone, Little Bobby. Locked up Mandela, Deruba, Geronimo, Asada, Mumia, Garvey, Dashiell Hamlet, Althea Sutton. Who killed Huey Newton, Fred Hampton, Medgar Evers, Mikey Smith, Walter Rodney? Was it the ones who tried to poison Fidel? Who tried to keep the Vietnamese oppressed? Who put a price on Lenin's head? Who put the Jews in ovens? And who helped them do it? Who said America first and okayed the yellow stars? Who killed Rosa Luxemburg, Liebknecht? Who murdered the Rosenbergs and all the good people? Iced, tortured, assassinated, banished? Who got rich from Algeria, Libya, Haiti, Iran, Iraq, Saudi, Kuwait, Lebanon, Syria, Egypt, Jordan, Palestine? Who cut off people's hands in the Congo? Who invented AIDS? Who put the germs in the Indians' blanket? Who thought up the Trail of Tears? Who blew up the Maine and started the Spanish-American War? Who got Sharon back in power? Who backed Batista, Hitler, Bilbo, Chiang Kai-shek? Who decided affirmative action had to go? Reconstruction, the New Deal, the New Frontier, the Great Society. Who do Tom Ass Clarence work for? Who doo-doo come out the colon's mouth? Who know what kind of skeezer is a Condoleezza? Who paid Connolly to be a wooden Negro? Who give Genius Awards to Homo Locus subsidiary? Who overthrew Nkrumah, Bishop? Who poisoned Robeson? Who tried to put Du Bois in jail? Who framed Rap Brown, Jamil Al-Amin? Who framed the Rosenbergs, Garvey, the Scottsboro Boys, the Hollywood 10? Who set the Reichstag fire? Who knew the World Trade Center was going to get bombed? Who told 4,000 Israeli workers at the Twin Towers to stay home that day? Why did Sharon stay away? Who? Who? Explosion of Owl, the newspapers say the devil's face could be seen. Who make money from war? Who make dough from fear and lies? Who want the world like it is? Who want the world to be ruled by imperialism and national oppression and terror, violence and hunger and poverty? Who is the ruler of hell? Who is the most powerful? Who you know ever seen God? But everybody's seen the devil. Like an owl exploding in your life, in your brain, in yourself, like an owl who know the devil all night, all day. If you listen, like an owl exploding in fire, we hear the questions rise in terrible flame, like the whistle of a crazy dog, like the acid vomit of the fire of hell. Who and who and who and who and who and who and who. Thank you.